All right, man. Coach's Corner, episode 1, really episode 2 if you think about it, because you and I got a chance to sit down. What was that? Late November, early December,
Yeah, I think
right
it was
before the
week
championships.
15 maybe,
It
week
was
14.
crazy. David Rock here with us, the brand spanking new South Range head ball coach of the Raiders, and that whole thing goes last night in front of the board. Let's start with this. For anybody who doesn't know you, who is David Rock, and introduce us to the new head ball coach of the South Range Raiders.
All right, so I'm a 2007 graduate of South Range. It's funny, it's kind of like a unique deal. I've been coaching here for, I guess, a decade now.
Yeah.
So most of the community knows me. I've lived here my whole life, so I don't think there's going to be anybody that's unfamiliar with me. But yeah, just me and my wife and kids live in town, but been a part of South Range schools since I started going to school.
So you said something in November that really stood out to me. You're just a kid from the hill. What
Yeah,
does that mean?
yeah. So at the time, I think I was I'm guessing maybe 5 years old, something
Okay.
like that. We were living in Canfield and hadn't started school yet. My parents apparently had planned for us to go to kindergarten at South Range, and it was just a random night, and I don't remember, why, because my dad's a Canfield graduate, mom's a South Range graduate, but they packed us up and went to a South Range game, and it's so funny because I remember like really vividly. Obviously, this is the old stadium, and it was a lot different, than even it is now. But I just remember, being running around the hill. We were rolling down the hill, and I remember some of the older, younger kids were throwing the football down in the back of the end zone where the old flag was at, and I just remember falling in love with the program, with the environment, and I guess I was probably 5 years old and didn't know anybody, didn't know anything about South Range other than thought it was a pretty cool place to be, and so I still feel the same way about the program in a lot of ways as I did, back in, I guess, probably would have been 95 maybe,
Wow.
94.
Wow. All right. So you've been a coach for over a decade now. You've really been. I mean, burgundy and gold is in your DNA from who you are and what you've grown up to be and become as a man. What does it mean to you now? Like when you look at this defensive coordinator for so many years, under the tutelage of course, Coach Yeagley and so many others on that staff, what does it mean to you last night when your name's announced as the brand new coach of the South Range Raiders for the first time in almost 3 decades?
Yeah, I mean, I'm proud. I'm obviously excited. I'd probably be lying if I said I wasn't, a little bit nervous.
Sure.
Certainly, but but the biggest thing is just I'm grateful, thankful for everything Coach Yeagley has done for me, but the community's done for me. I'm so proud of the program that the community and then Coach Yeagley and then all of us have built over the years, and it's one of those things where it's kind of crazy to feel like it's mine now. That probably hasn't sunk in yet the way I'm sure it will, as far as being the head coach. But just really proud of everything that the program stands for, and I guess the big thing is I'm really proud of the kind of kids that we have and the kind of kids that come back after they've graduated and to see what they're doing now. We saw Blake when we walked in here. He's one of our guys, but just really proud of the difference that I think that the football program has made on the community too.
So you talk about that difference. What was different about your situation that I don't think maybe a lot of people know, but there was a huge rally to keep this coaching staff together. And I think that was one of the big things that you were pushing for. I'm sure Coach Yeagley was pushing for, and all these coaches are pushing for. One of the things that I said to Coach Yeagley was what's really neat about the coaching staff is I think, and I truly believe this in my heart, each and every single one of you could probably go be a head coach somewhere in this area or otherwise, but you've chosen to stay together. How important was that to you in this process of not only keeping some of these coaches, but adding to the legacy of the South Range coaching staff for these kids?
Yeah, for sure. I think first of all, for the kids, I think that as few moving parts as possible is beneficial towards them.
Sure.
I think that it's kind of a unique, it's a special place, South Range is. And just the relationship that we have with the kids, and I think it's a little bit different than what it is a lot of places. And then as far as the coaching staff, I can't, I've talked to Coach Yeagley about this and talked to a lot of the administration about it. I think you'd be hard pressed to find a staff that enjoys each other's company as much as we do. Coach Allegretto coached me. Coach Yeagley coached me. I've known, while they're on the staff, I mean, they're some of my best friends, and that's something that I think has taken us, a long time, I think, to develop the kind of the chemistry that we now possess. And I think, the proof is in the pudding the past couple of years in terms of the relationship we have with the kids. I think they would tell you that things are going well. So I'm just so thankful to be able to have those guys. Like you said, there's probably 10 guys on the staff that could go be head coaches somewhere, and to have their support and to be able to lean on them and ask them questions and bounce ideas off of them, is definitely helps me feel a little bit more comfortable in a new role.
So naturally, you said the proof's in the pudding. I think everybody knows the proof of the state championship that you guys were able to access in 2022. I mean, big shoes to fill, right? A state championship, a Hall of Fame coach, things of that nature. From your standpoint, when you applied for this, now obviously everybody knows your track record of winning and being a competitor. What kind of things are you looking to go day one in the new regime to maybe not change, but to keep the status quo of South Range football?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, immediately is that, and this is a challenge that we haven't, we've had success as a program.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't had the level of success that we had last year. We've never reached, the peak of the mountain, if you will. So I think a lot of what we're going to have to wrestle with is how we handle success, and how we come back after being on top. And it's funny if you watch Kirby Smart after the national championship game. The game's been over for 5 minutes, and he's already talking about guarding against complacency. And we talk a lot with the kids about remembering who we are and remember what got us here. So that's obviously a huge challenge for us. As far as big shoes to fill, I don't, I could probably, I could be here for 50 years and win 5,000 games, and never feel like I filled Coach Yeagley's shoes, just because of everything that he's done for me and for my family and for the program, our kids. And that's okay. I wouldn't be very good at being Coach Yeagley. I just have to.
Nobody would.
That's what I mean. I just have to be me. And, we're obviously so thankful for the state of the program, that we've kind of inherited. But, the other thing is, as far as, comparisons to Coach Yeagley and stuff, it's funny. When I think of comparisons, I feel like that's like a competitive thing, And I don't feel any of that, with Coach Yeagley, just because I know what he believes in, and I know what I believe in, and I'm so close with him. I feel like he's on our team. You know what I mean? We're teammates, and we're both kind of pulling the same direction. Even still, with him obviously spending more time with his family now and stuff. I just don't feel like he's a competitor of mine. So I don't really feel as much of that as what people probably.
It's gonna be a storyline.
Yeah, right.
So one of your biggest challenges that I foresee, and this is just a numbers game, right? When you have 20 seniors and you lose 20 seniors, trying to replace 20 seniors when you don't have them, right. Is a challenge. How do you replace kind of maybe not just the seniors from a legacy standpoint, but how do you replace that leadership that those seniors brought to the table?
Yeah, I mean, I think, first and foremost, you hope that the underclassmen sponged as much of it up as possible. It's funny, we're losing 20 seniors, a Hall of Fame head coach, and probably 10,000 yards of career offense, and a bunch of 4-year starters. So you just hope that the young guys have picked up as much as they could from the older guys and their experience. And, I still think that, while those 20 seniors are gone and won't be playing anymore, their legacy, like you mentioned, and their impact is still going to be felt just in terms of how we prepare, how we practice, how our kids treat one another, just so many things culturally that they're going to leave their mark. And, it's funny, you were at our banquet, our postseason banquet, And I thought it was just so fitting. Shane Lindstrom gave an incredible speech, which probably shocked 0 people.
Yeah.
And but in doing so, he said, "Don't let this be what defines you. Don't let this be, your peak." And so you hope that some of the young guys were paying attention. I know that it kind of woke me up sitting there. And I thought, yeah, it's time to stop celebrating, be proud of what we did, but it's time to get back to work and try to see, how much better we can get.
So from that standpoint, I mean, leadership, you talk about Shane, you talk about Chris, you talk about, I mean,
Yeah.
everybody seemingly on that seniors. We interviewed them all multiple times. You talk about being a sponge. What's the one thing that you hope that they kind of sponged up and took from that senior class that you think will make you and this team successful in 2023?
I would say 2 things. One, I think would be just how selfless they were as a group. How much they believed in team first. It's hard when you have 20 seniors, only 11 guys can play at a time, so we had a lot of guys that probably are two-way starters and are touching the ball a ton on a lot of teams in the area. But just because of the amount of seniors we had and the quality of senior we had, it was tough to get on the field at times, and I think that those guys really handled that well, especially the seniors. And I think that as an underclassman, it would be pretty cool to see that it really did pay off for a lot of those guys down the stretch. Guys started seeing a lot of the seniors that are gone now, but they started seeing, more playing time, making big plays and big moments. And, we hope our seniors are going to play their best ball. We're going to need them to play their best ball at the biggest point. So I think that's something that they can learn from them. And then the other thing would just be how to prepare. I think that forget the football field. That group that just left knew how to prepare, and because they knew how to prepare, they can prepare for life. You know what I mean? They're going to be, better fathers. They're going to be better, at whatever jobs they choose to do. They're going to have great college careers, better students. So I hope that the underclassmen saw the way they prepared, and it was every day, all day. It was inspiring for me as an old guy and a coach.
Old guy.
To watch how these guys were working and the work they were putting in and how focused they were on what their goal was.
So I'm interested because I know you're such a defensive guru. How are you going to kind of balance that now that you've got to worry about offense and defense and special teams? I know that Coach Yeagley gave all his coaches a lot of, you're the defensive guy, you're the offensive guy, do your job and everybody will work. Is that the kind of same philosophy that you're going to have, or are you going to kind of keep your finger on the pulse of everything?
Yeah, no, I think you have to handle it that way. Obviously, every coach I think has a different style as far as how much they are hands on or hands off of things, and I think every head coach is in a different situation. Maybe has to do different things based on who's around him. As far as our situation, I'm so lucky to have the crew that I have with me, where I can really kind of back off and be hands off with it. Coach Hayes, Coach Tressel said you win with people.
Yeah.
And so I think maybe I'm biased, but I'd be hard pressed to find a staff that I would around the country that I would take over ours. I mean, I really do. I have a lot of belief in those guys, and again, when you surround yourself with good people, it's easy to delegate, I think.
Yep.
And let me handle some stuff that is the first time for me handling it. I'm really comfortable on Friday nights as a defensive coordinator and during the week, and whereas the head coaching stuff is all new to me. So it's going to take me some time, I'm sure, to get my footing, and in the meantime, I'm going to really have to lean heavily on the guys that I believe are really, really great coaches.
What I love about South Range is the unspoken traditions that are in that locker room, that are in the school, that are displayed on the field each and every night. When you think about South Range, what are some of the traditions that you cherish the most? And are there any that could be changing over the next year, 2, 10?
I'm kind of a softie when it comes to things that are sentimental and traditional, and so I wouldn't plan on me changing a whole lot.
I just heard Coach Yeagley sigh a breath of relief.
Yeah, no, he knows how I am. He knows better. There's not really anything that I would change. I'm with Coach Yeagley on the uniforms and the helmets. I don't,
Did
Thought
you
that
know
was
that he
really
wanted to
cool.
put a logo on it at one point?
So no, I didn't. I actually found out through my wife. Julia texted me. She said, "You're going to have a Coach Yeagley helmet." And I'm like, "What are you talking about? With a sticker on it. What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
But yeah, Julia made me aware of it, and I was shocked to hear that.
I almost fell out of my seat.
Yeah, I was going to say I can't believe that, but I do think I've seen a similar helmet to what he's talking about, so I can kind of see how he would have appreciated it, knowing like what his style is. But
Yep.
no, I don't see myself changing anything. I love the helmets. I love I guess the big thing is we're gonna have to find a way to simulate a hill. At some
There we
point if
go.
they're
All right.
once they get get the new stadium renovations done, we might lose part of the hill. So we're gonna have to have something that's called the hill or something
I
maybe.
love it. I love it. Pride. You got a lot of pride, obviously, in the burgundy and gold. How much do you take into, and I know it's hard to put a number on it or a value on it, but how much pride do you take into this position over maybe another position that would have opened up somewhere else or down the line?
Oh, I mean, yeah. I'm. It's funny. I guess 2023. So it's been 20 years since I was a freshman in high school, right? I was going to become a freshman in high school. The amount of pride that I have for this program, for the school system now, is almost it's like the same situation.
Yeah.
I feel like I was so proud, so excited to go just be a part of the program, and I really don't feel anything different now. I'm still, I guess it's been 20 years. I'm still just as proud as I've ever been, just as excited as I've ever been for Friday nights. And I would be the same way if I weren't coaching or the head coach, or if I was just going to watch South Range play, I would feel the same. For me, I can't imagine, feeling anything like this, anywhere else. So, luckily, I'm not going to have to. Hopefully, hopefully forever. Unless they kick me out or something. But no, I love this place, and I'm so proud to be a part of it.
I don't know if you're a Steeler fan. I am, but it kind of similar in the fact that the coaching tree doesn't go very far. I mean, if you're a coach with South Range, you're a coach for a significant amount of time.
Yeah, and that's probably I think I'm the sixth head coach since the merger, and that's going back
53 years,
60,
so yeah.
whatever. And it's even crazier that I feel like I outside of the first coach, I think I've met all of them. I know them all. I have a personal relationship with the last four of them, I guess. And so just really thankful for what they've done, and probably that's one of the reasons that I feel more pride coaching here than I would probably feel anywhere else or doing anything else. One, it's the program that I've grown up loving, but two, I know that the coaches that were here before me, like I said, I know them all, so many of them personally, and I know what kind of guys they are. I know what kind of coaches they are. A lot of them still come to our games, and I've got to talk to them and just have so much appreciation for what they've built over the years. And every one of them has left the program in a better spot than what they found it. And so that's going to be, obviously a challenge, but a goal. It's hard to get a whole lot better than going 16-0, but you hope that we can make the program better, and for the next guy than what it is now.
So obviously we're here at Athletics, which is very near and dear to my heart. Where we're going to be, it's awesome, right?
This place is incredible.
We're going to need this place because you and I are going to meet in the fall each and every week at Legends.
Yeah.
And I'm not putting any pressure on you, but the last guy that was sitting in your seat now has a sandwich named after him.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pick up my game. I might have to send some of the kids in there to do some buttering up for me and see what they can do. If I bring my wife and kids, maybe I'll get some brownie points or something. Yeah.
There you go. I mean, we're excited. There's a lot of people that love South Range football, South Range in general. And obviously it's near and dear to our heart at YSN. So I cannot wait to have these coaches' corners with you, player profiles, obviously, with the kids. I shouldn't say student athletes. They don't like when I call them kids.
Yeah, right.
But Dave, I'm so excited for you. The last thing we do each and every week is we do kind of an off the topic question. So my question to you is, right now it's it's not snowing today, but it was snowing yesterday. If you could go anywhere in the world on a vacation with your family, where would it be and why?
Man, that's tough. I'd probably say Yellowstone.
Okay.
Yeah,
You guys like nature?
yeah, you know what? Me and Julia started watching Yellowstone, a couple years
Oh,
ago.
okay, got it.
And my dad goes out there all the time, and we see all kinds of pictures when he goes out there. And we had planned on going there before the floods.
Really?
Yeah, this was been, I guess, last summer, I think.
Yeah.
We had planned on going out there, and like a week before we were going to leave, a lot of the park got washed away. But so my kids are excited for Yellowstone, and yeah, just the nature and the wildlife and all that kind of stuff has them excited.
Are you
So
gonna wear a
probably
cowboy
out
hat?
there. Yeah, you know what? I don't know if I could rock a cowboy hat or not. I mean, I'll give it a shot, I guess. See how it works
I
out.
love it. Dave Rock, your new head ball coach of the South Range Raiders. Any final thoughts?
Yeah, I just want to thank you for having me, and obviously, thank you to Athletics. What an amazing place this is for hosting us, and I'm so excited to get to legends and get to keep on seeing what you do with our kids. We appreciate you so much, and appreciate them over here at Athletics also.
You got to do one more thing, right? This is how you finish. You got to say,
Go Raiders.